first of all, earlier, the message from the US President Joe Biden that he is pretty much fixed on the idea now that Vladimir Putin has decided to invade Ukraine. So Kamala Harris coming to the Munich Security Conference and giving more information about what exactly the action would be. She says, first of all, she's warning Russia that it should think twice before actually going ahead with that invasion, saying that the UN and its allies will impose what she said were significant economic sanctions, a significant economic cost. They would be swift, severe, and united in the measures they take, which will be financial sanctions that will pinpoint institutions and key industries. And she also said that those who were complicit in the invasion would also be targeted by the sanctions, which she said would inflict damage. She also said that the possible invasion, if it went ahead, would lead to a rapid reinforcement of NATO forces along the eastern flank.
On NATO territory, but not in Ukraine.
Exactly, on NATO territory, which is something that Vladimir Putin has said that he does not want. And so that was something else. She was saying that there are 8,500 US troops on standby that can be drafted in. She said that the United States and its allies would defend every inch of NATO territory. So a strong message from Kamala Harris, coming just a few hours after that message from the US President Joe Biden. We've also heard today from the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. We've heard from Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission. And we've also heard from Jens Stoltenberg, the NATO Secretary General. All of them basically on the same lines. The underlying message here to President Putin is, if you've made up your mind to invade, think twice, because if you do invade, Russia is going to suffer badly as a result of that, because we are united as one force. And if anything has happened as a result of all of this, it has brought the United States, NATO, the European Union, all much closer together, although there are some differences between those different partners, but they're much more together in all of this, building up a common front against any possibility of Russian aggression against Ukraine.
Yeah, we heard that message united repeatedly in Kamala Harris's speech, because we know that Russia has at times tried to get the West to be split amongst itself. Russia, a no-show at this Munich Security Conference. Vladimir Putin attending nuclear drills. Sergei Lavrov not attending either. This a missed opportunity for diplomacy, perhaps?
I think it probably is a missed opportunity for diplomacy, but I don't think it's a surprise that Russia is not there. There is a flurry. We've been talking about this for days, William, a flurry of diplomatic activity, phone calls, visits, more phone calls, more visits between heads of state going to Ukraine, to Moscow to meet Vladimir Putin. We have the Ukrainian president who's due at the Munich Security Conference a bit later on this afternoon. We've heard today that Jens Stoltenberg, the NATO Secretary General, has sent a letter to the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, offering more talks in a bid to defuse the crisis. So we can see that I think there is a feeling that, well, even if President Putin has made his mind up that he wants to invade Ukraine, we should not give up on the diplomatic activity until the very last minute. So there is still a window open for some kind of diplomatic exchange of views in a bid to try to defuse this crisis, even if that window is becoming incredibly small now, because NATO and the West are saying, well, look, what Russia is asking for is totally unacceptable for NATO. That's to say that NATO should withdraw from all the states that were previously part of the Soviet Union, and that it has a right over what goes on in Ukraine. They say Ukraine is a sovereign nation. If Ukraine wants to join NATO, then it's up to Ukraine to do that. But there is no mandate at the moment for Ukraine to do anything as far as joining NATO is concerned. So there is a message, there is diplomatic activity. It just depends on what is going on inside Vladimir Putin's head right now, and the only person who knows that is Vladimir Putin.